Well, the thought that I've kind of settled on is just the scientific fact that energy is never created nor destroyed. That just was playing over and over again in my head after my mom died. And I guess it was sort of comforting to sort of believe that with love there is no death. You know, I mean, none of us obviously know what happens, but you know, biologically, I guess, I don't know if that's the term, but you know, our heart stops beating, brain stops functioning, you know, and you know, the body is just kind of like a shell, I guess. I believe that, you know, some parts of us live on in some fashion, like, and I mean that beyond like living in the thoughts and memories of others. I don't believe that, you know, all of us is ever gone. I can't even really conceptualize what gone would mean. A roller coaster that you're just on. I remember my first trip to Cedar Point. I was in 5th grade, and I think I was getting on the Wicked Twister, which doesn't exist anymore. And it was my first roller coaster. And after I was already strapped in, I got scared and I wanted off. Like, I wanted to get off, but they were basically like, "It's too late. There's nothing we can do. You're already strapped in." So I just had to go along for that ride. I tend to liken that to how grief is. You often don't have control over it. You never know when it's going to hit. You're kind of just along for the ride, and it's a lifelong journey. Like, you know, it's not something that will ever stop or that you'll be over. Some days will be better than others, but yeah, it's one of those forever things, you know, for as long as you're still alive, you know. I tend to believe that everything does happen for a reason, but I don't necessarily mean that in any kind of religious sense. But I think that to everything, even if it's, you know, one of the worst experiences you ever had, that there is always something to be learned from it. And because my mom died unexpectedly, you know, it was part of a lesson that, you know, we all, somewhere in our consciousness, we know that, you know, tomorrow isn't promised, and, you know, you really got to take the day as it is. But I think it's really easy to lose sight of that. And I've also learned, because, you know, in like going through things, and like, because, you know, when you experience like a death like that that's so close, like it's just like this flood of memories just, you know, comes back to you that you maybe hadn't thought about in years. And so and I've always appreciated and loved my mother, and was always very open about that, and like, she knew how much that I loved her, but the amount that I appreciate her now is just grown exponentially. Just thinking back on her being a single mother, and, you know, doing what she did and raising me as she did, and you know, being the powerhouse that she was. It's just really phenomenal. This turtleneck was actually my mother's, and red was her favorite color. And this was her bracelet. Yeah, I wear this pretty much every day. This is called Gratitude for a Manual Turntable. It sings only to me and anyone I choose, and only the voices I want to hear. Through currents console to speaker, the grooves tell elaborate stories, like rings inside of a tree trunk. From first drop of needle to heartbeats after side two, it's an intentional journey. One of sounds working together in time, and words that do just the same. The most beautiful thing about it is that I always know when the end is near. The needle reaches the end of the groove as I prepare to return the tone arm to its resting place, at the end of several afterlife heartbeats. It spins for as long as I care to listen. In a parallel journey, its sister, automatic's tone arm, automatically returns to its resting place. When time has run out, and there is no choice. There are no afterlife heartbeats. There is no more listening. Sister Automatic makes me think of my mother, who returned on Revolution 63, automatically. Her groove ran out before her album was finished, or perhaps it was finished, and I was not done listening. Sometimes I wish we knew our span of existence, as a record knows its own. Perhaps we would revolve with the sun as our platter 33, 45, or 78 times per minute, depending on the day, for however many minutes, until it's time to return from whence we came, manually or automatically. I prefer the manual way, of course. I guess there's something about having control of the resting place and knowing that there is an afterlife of heartbeats, a choice, that just makes it better and more okay. Realize and take hold of your worth, and utilize it as best you can to pursue the things that you're passionate about in ways that can help others the way you really want to.
Love.